Well, they're at it again, Nez Nation. Welcome to another video here. It's your boy, Professor Nez. I don't know if you've heard of Bloodbath Gate yet, but if you haven't, it is even more indicative of why I keep advocating, Nez Nation, that our sovereignty, what we owe to our forefathers, what is really the fabric of our country and what makes us, sets us apart, and why we're always number one in the world, is because we have the freedom to exercise our critical thinking and critical discernment. Donald Trump was at a rally, gave a speech in Ohio very, very recently to support a senator there. And he was talking about the auto industry. And he made a comment about how, I'll show you the whole video. I'm going to show you a bunch of clips. He made a comment about how, if he doesn't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. And of course, the Obama consortium, the coalition, got together and said, did you hear what he said? He said bloodbath. Took it all out of context. But there's so many of us out there. This is why my channel exists. There's so many of us, it goes right over our head and we actually believe this stuff. They took it so out of context that they literally made it now an anthem for another reason to impede, stop, to obstruct any chance of this guy winning in the next, election upcoming, which is less than 7 months away. This election is less than 7 months away, the most consequential year of our republic. So check this out. Check out some of these clips I'm going to share with you. You're not going to believe this. And then I'm going to share with you, this is such an important video. Stick around to the end. I'm going to share with you the actual clip in context so you can see how egregious this state media, this isn't reporting anymore. This isn't objective reporting. This isn't actual, real, substantive journalism that only reports the facts. This is state media. Check this out.
It was a continuation of the same rhetoric, the same endorsement of political violence that we've seen from Donald Trump for years, as you pointed out. It goes even farther back, right? This is the same guy who, after Nazis marched on Charlottesville and killed a woman, said there were very fine people on both sides.
That right there is Biden's communication director, Michael Tyler, who goes on former Biden press secretary, Jen Psaki's show on MSNBC, and talks about Charlotte, which that was actually proven by even such outlets as MSNBC, as NBC, CBS, even the mainstream media even proved that that was taken completely out of context, what he said about South Carolina. This hypocrisy and this absolute dereliction of real reporting and real journalism that we come to enjoy and come to respect. I mean, there was a time when these journals, the New York Times, the LA Times, the Washington, there was a time when you respected these publications. What is happening here? And how can we forget our favorite? This is our favorite, right? Probably the grand wizard behind the entire consortium, maybe even perhaps more egregious and rotten than Commie Kamala Harris, our friend, the old witch of the wicked east. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite.
Because he's even predicting a bloodbath. What does that mean? He's going to exact a bloodbath?
No.
There's something wrong here. How respectful I am of the American people and their goodness. But how much more do they have to see from him to understand that this isn't what our country is about? Praising Hitler, praising the Russians.
She cares about the good of the people. What was that weak, pathetic attempt to hold up your fist? I care about the good of the people. I mean, who are these people fooling? Well, the sad thing is, if Joe Biden actually did get 81 million votes, you guys, Elon Musk even said this on X. By the way, follow me on X, at Professor Nez. He said this stuff surprisingly is so effective. I'm laughing about this, which to me, it's just an absolute joke. I'm laughing about this. And maybe you are too watching this, but it's really it's got major consequences. This type of disinformation, this type of skewing the truth and taking things out of context, it's gotten to a level in current day 2024 that I don't think we've ever seen before. There's always been journalists out there. There's always been news publications out there that have taken things out of context. They usually retract it when they find out the facts and they find out the truth. We don't see that anymore. They usually try to cite sources. They usually try to do their due diligence prior to publishing these things. And usually prior to maybe the invention of the internet, usually those types of errors were innocently made. It was just honest mistakes in a lot of cases. Yes, there were a few that definitely had their own motive and ulterior motives, et cetera, but we're reaching a level of absolute totalitarianism in mainstream media that it's reflective of the most egregious systems out there, like communist China. This is state media. And look at this. It's not just one outlet. It's not just two outlets. It's not just three outlets. Look at this right here. Check this out. This is the actual, all the top news stories if you turn online. Look at this. Darker Trump, absurd, violent. Trump says U.S. will be a bloodbath. It's news outlet after news outlet after news outlet after news. It's not just one. It's not just two. It's not just three. It's not just four. It's every single news publication that gets top search results on Google that 90% of people count on. And all of these look at this. Trump says there'll be a bloodbath if he loses the election. So when people search the news or they just even go online or what have you, these are the top headlines that they see from these fake news. I mean, it's amazing. Everything Trump said about the fake news, I'll be honest with you, back in early 2015 or 2016, I don't know when it was exactly, maybe even before that, where the phrase fake news kind of started. Even I scoffed at that, okay? And I'd already been kind of somebody who's more of a centrist, maybe more right-leaning, but more centrist than anything. And even I was like, and by the way, I've claimed many, many times that there's a lot of things that Trump says that I just think are ridiculous and absurd, and I just wish he would just shut up. I love his policies. I think his policies worked if you're a sensible, logical person. But even though I like the guy, there's a lot of things I don't like about him too, just like with most people, right? But I just remember, being so, my first knee-jerk reaction when he started using that phrase, fake news, over and over again in every single interview, press conference, etc. Even I was like, dude, give it up, man, fake news. You got to stop with this fake news stuff. He was right about everything. He was literally right about everything. Because if you're in I's, Nana or aunt, or somebody who maybe doesn't have time to exercise their critical thinking and actually do their due diligence and do a little bit of research and find out, well, is that really what he said? Is that taken out of context? What's really going on here? As every intelligent American should, they're going to see stuff like this. Look at NBC News. Trump says there'll be a bloodbath. Look at CBS News. In Ohio rally, Trump says there will be a bloodbath. Look at Rolling Stone, which is an absolute abomination of a publication. Just stick to music. If you're watching Rolling Stone, stick to music. You're not even good at that, but you're awful at politics. Trump says there will be a bloodbath and elections. The Daily Beast. Trump. It's just on and on and on, one after the other. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous because every single headline took everything that Trump said 1,000,000,000% out of context. Check out this video right here. The full video in context. It's just a minute long. Check this out so you can really get an idea of what we're talking about here. The gravity and really the weight of these guys shirking their responsibilities as, they're supposed to be doing objective, neutral, reporting the facts, anchored in reality journalism. They're not doing that.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine.
Oh my gosh. Is he going to, what does he mean when he says bloodbath? Is he going to exact that? Says the Wicked Witch of the East, Pelosi. I mean, it's just absolutely insanity. I mean, even Fox News. I mean, it's not one outlet or the other. I'm telling you, they all across the board, they took everything he said out of context. So the whole point of this video, Nez Nation, the whole reason I'm bringing this up is this is the actual truth. That's the actual speech. He's referring to the auto industry. He's referring to what's going to happen if we let these policies continue. That's what he means when he says it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath for the auto industry. It's going to be a bloodbath for the economy. It's going to be a bloodbath for every hardworking middle-class American. It's going to be a bloodbath in every context related to the speech that he was giving. These guys are making it sound like this guy's going to go on like he's going to grab a machete or pull another January 6th insurrection and tell Americans to go. I mean, it's insane. It's absolute insanity. But again, you and I know the difference. And me sharing this video, and you share this video with everybody, please. Everybody deserves to know the truth. Nobody's covering this. Mainstream media is absolutely spreading the most malicious, imaginary, fabricated lie, taking everything out of his speech out of context. Share this video because this is the truth. That's the actual speech. That's actually what he was referring to. The reason I'm making this is, again, you look at the rhetorical principles: audience, purpose, message, ethos, pathos, logos. The people who are running these publications, I think I would give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not entirely stupid. There's definitely a lot of stupid there, but they're not entirely stupid. They know what he said. They know what the context was. They know he wasn't referring to this mass vindictive, evil murder spree or whatever that they're trying to paint it as. They know better. The fact that they still print this stuff, the fact that they still release this stuff, knowing this, is the most vile. It is the most depraved. It is capital W wrong. These people hate America. They don't want the truth. And they go soft on President Biden. They're trying to stick up for Tombstone, 1 foot in the grave Biden. They're trying to say he's mentally fit. Look at what he did at the State of the Union. He's totally mentally fit. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. My kids are just getting home downstairs. I'm in my studio, obviously, right now. So if you hear Blue, love you, Blue, shut up. This is serious stuff. It's serious stuff, Nez Nation. I told you I'm a mom and pop thing. So it's just my wife and I, we're doing this. That's why all your support means the world to me. Tap that thumbs up and share this video. We need to exercise critical thinking. We need to exercise critical discernment. We need to let people know that these guys can't do this anymore. These so-called reputable, judicious publications like the Washington Post and the Rolling Stone, NBC, MSNBC, they need to stop. This is awful. We need to raise awareness. This is the best way to stop all this. Who is the author? What is their purpose? What is their message? What is their agenda? Why are they purposefully? This is intentional. Every molecule of these headlines is intentional. Nancy, Wicked Witch of the East Pelosi's speech, intentional. Jen Psaki and the former secretary, director of security, intentional. This is all intentional. Everything that they misspoke and misquoted and took out of context about what Trump said about South Carolina, intentional. All the trials, Fannie Cash Money G. Willis, Letitia James, intentional. All of this is intentional. When are we going to wake up, America? When are we going to stop? Together, we can make a change. Together, we can make a difference. This is the most consequential year of our republic. You and I can make a difference when we walk into that voting booth. We can make a difference. We have to. There's too much at stake. I throw this off to you, Nez Nation. I want to know, what do you guys think of this? Am I wrong? I'm happy to be wrong, by the way. Again, America is all about the best idea wins. It's not about egos like, well, my idea has to win. I have to be right. I'm not a fan of tribalism. I'm really a big fan of what Tucker Carlson and Chris Cuomo did. I think America is all about debate. It's all about discourse. It's all about respect. It's all about productive collaboration. I can disagree with you. You can disagree with me. That's the American way. We don't have to kill each other and hate each other. I'm not a fan of tribalism. I'm a fan of practicality. I love my country. I'm sick and tired of people throwing America in the toilet. I'm sick and tired of these hypocritical pseudo politicians coming after and trying to deprive Americans of their right to vote for who they want to vote for their right to elect who they want to elect. And we need to make a change. We need to make a difference. And so I'm happy to be wrong. Let me know in the comments. I try with my whole soul best to respond to all the comments personally. Obviously, super chats get first priority. Members get the top priority. So consider becoming a channel member. It all goes back into the channel so I can keep creating free content. It's really nothing. It's just a mochaccino for an entire month. You know, it's like as much as one Starbucks coffee for an entire month to support us. We'd really appreciate it. You don't have to, obviously. It's always going to be free. But it would really mean a lot to me if you could do that. So consider becoming a member. I want to hear from you. What do you guys think of this? I'm happy to be wrong. Make sure you check out these videos right here coming up. As always, subscribe to our free newsletter, pin comment. I love you. God bless you. God bless America. And I'll see you soon.